what they told me to do.
She's trespassing. She come back up here, take her ass to jail.
I own my house.
This not your house.
You don't own it either. It's not yours either.
My house. The caption says, woman forcefully evicted after allegedly failing to pay rent since 2023. So you ain't paid rent in all this time. He never said it was his house. You said it was your house. And so he just said it's not your house. Regardless, ma'am, you living in it, but you ain't paying for
it. I'm doing what they told me to do.
She's trespassing. She come back up here, take her ass to jail.
I own my house.
This not your house.
You don't own it either. It's not yours either.
We're done.
What you talking about? Nigga, I'm gonna sit across the street and I'm gonna get my house back and y'all gonna keep coming out here.
Nah, your ass going to jail.
I don't give a
10 o'clock in the morning and she drinking the ice house.
A local woman was forcefully removed from a residential unit by law enforcement authorities on Friday.
And here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. This is why we can't even have logical dialogue, because even in that exchange, this is how quick things just go off the rails and you be arguing about nothing. She said something that was inaccurate. He said it's not your house. She then jumped to something that he didn't say, where she's saying it's not your house either. Doesn't that sound so childish? That sounds like playground. It's not yours either. He never said it was his. But see how now that's where it starts, where it can just get ignorant and have you arguing over foolishness. I tell you, man. And it would have just kept going. We're just staying in facts, man. It's not your house. You haven't paid for it for years. You've been having it good for a long time. So I feel like be grateful for however long you had it good, because let's be clear and let's be honest. You're not going to try to pay back the debt that you owe. You're just going to move on with your life and understand that you need to find a new lick. And so you still get over in the situation all in all. But a lot of times, this is another reason why we can't stay in facts and logic, because a lot of times people just focusing on what they need, and, you know, they can't look past their own selves. She just focused on herself. It says, I'm stressed. Getting evicted has to be one of the absolute worst things to go through in the world. Okay.
I'm going to try not to cry, but forgive me if I do.
All right. So it says urgent eviction, medically complex family. I don't know what that means. Medically complex family. So she's saying they have a lot of complexity, what I guess, medically in her family. So maybe she has a household of disabled people. I don't know. Maybe she'll unpack it. But she says her court date was coming July 23rd, 2026. She actually posted this video on July 18th, 2026. And she needs almost $4,000. So it looks like she's trying to raise money. And I don't know if this is important, but she turned her comments off. So she don't really want to hear what you got to say. Just give her the money. Y'all, before we get back into it, if you could like the video, I greatly appreciate it. It only takes a second and actually helps out more than you know. And also, if you can hype the video as well. And then also, I just launched a clips channel. And so it is Divine X Unbound Clips. And I will link that channel in the pinned comments. So if you can click that link and go over there and subscribe, I greatly appreciate it. We're trying to get it to 4,000 watch hours before February 1st, because that is when the new YouTube rules go into effect.
I need help. I'm going to try not to cry, but forgive me if I do. I need help. I am about to get evicted. My court date is this Thursday. I have a medically complex 12-year-old daughter. She got a kidney transplant 3 years ago, and she has vasculitis, lung disease, gastroparesis, which is a paralyzed stomach, and she was just diagnosed with SMA syndrome. She takes transplant medications, and she's also on a feeding pump, a feeding tube, and that pump runs on electricity. I have nowhere to go. I moved to Texas specifically for one of the specialists that she needed. Both of my parents are deceased. I literally have nowhere to go. I started a GoFundMe. There is some money on it, but not nearly enough to prevent the eviction that the leasing company said could be prevented if I pay the whole amount. What I owe to the leasing company is $4,776.29. I have done everything that I possibly can. If we are on the streets, it very well could kill my daughter, and I don't want that to happen. I need this post to move, and I need it to move fast. So if you can donate, I'm on Instagram as well as Facebook, raising Acre Addy. I do not believe I can put a clickable link on this particular TikTok page because I do not have a lot of followers. I'm just trying to get this post to reach as many people as possible. Anything that you can donate is appreciated. If you share this post, if you repost it, if you like it, if you comment, anything helps. We can't be on the streets. I'm going to try.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. That's unfortunate. I really wish her the best. You see, and because things have gotten so watered down, and by watered down, I mean, listen, anywhere you look on TikTok, if you're just randomly looking, it's going to feed you some struggle content of people begging or people saying that they're about to get evicted or people saying their kids about to end up on the street, all type of stuff. But I feel like situations like this is what GoFundMe was designed for. This was what it was designed for. Because it's unfortunate. I feel like medical things are out of your control. We always talk about decisions, choices, what's in your control, your realm of control. Listen, this is out of your control. She has one kid who's got medical problems. But because people are so tapped out and they're so used to people coming on here and either lying fraudulently or just coming up with every frivolous thing that they need. Hey y'all, I'm trying to raise some money. I'm trying to get some Dominoes tonight. I'm just in the mood for that. Hey y'all, I like Longhorn steak. I'm trying to raise some money. Hey y'all, I need some gas this morning. It makes it hard for people like this when they actually need help for them to be able to actually get what they need. So it's unfortunate, and I hope that she's able to figure this out. I mean, for goodness sake, she had to move to a whole nother state just to have to go to a specialist. I can't imagine how that could have shaken up, her stability financially and just in every way. In every way. So I'm sorry to hear that.
After paying $13,000.
The caption says the leasing office is evicting me after paying $13,000 due to my dog getting in an altercation while on her walk. It's over, y'all. Your dog got an altercation on the walk.
They just found a way to evict me due to an altercation that Blue had with one of the residents.
With a resident?
Somebody, I got my dogs.
I was hoping it got an altercation with another dog.
On a leash and somebody walk up to me. Blue grabbed their shirt. They blow the whole situation out of proportion. And they using that to kick me out. So I did all that fighting for nothing, y'all. And I don't know what God got next for me, but just gonna let go and let God.
This dude was already on here talking about he was getting evicted for something else. Man, when I tell you this dude was spamming with eviction content for a whole nother reason. I think before it was really for financial reasons. And now all of a sudden you done got in a situation. I think he's just trying to blow up his TikTok page. Honestly, I don't know if I believe it. Because here's another thing too. Here's another thing. For one, keep your dog in control, man. But at the same time, I understand people will try to get real close to your dog. That's why, out of respect for other people's liability, I go out of my way to steer clear of their dog when they're with them. It's not that I don't like dogs, but if your dog bites me or something and now I got to go to the doctor, and as we just saw with that other woman, for some reason in the US, boy, you got to go to the doctor for any reason, it could financially destroy you. So out of respect, so it don't financially destroy you, I'm going to just go ahead and steer clear of your dog. But you also have to take that responsibility on yourself as the owner. I was doing small talk while I was looking for his other eviction content. But it's so deep down. This dude, all he does is be on TikTok. So, but he was already having an eviction situation going on for something totally different.
Am I the only one who started seeing a lot of videos on my For You page of people like struggling with getting evicted, like with their bills, all type of
Her caption says, "Is everybody struggling or no?"
stuff? Like, am I the only one who be seeing that? Because they be talking about how they just going broke, paying rent and all this different stuff. But am I?
Didn't I just tell y'all too? Every time you scroll on TikTok, you gonna come across some struggle content. That's what she's saying. She's like, "Is everybody struggling?" Dang, every time I scroll, it's somebody struggling with something. Yeah. Yeah. So a lot of people, man, people didn't even think it was possible to be homeless or whatever, because people was out here just making whatever decisions. People wasn't saving for a rainy day. People was taking trips. People were living like celebrities, honestly. Especially when them stimulus checks came out. Y'all remember that? People were living like celebrities, getting designer clothes that they didn't have no business paying for, all type of stuff, and was broke and didn't have 2 pennies to rub together. That's not even including how they spend with credit.
The only one who be like, I pay my rent half with one check and half with the other, because y'all not about to get my whole check for no rent. No. And my landlord, like the company I rent through, they don't have no problem with me doing that. And I do that with like a lot of my bills, like my car payment. I pay it half and half for the month. Like a lot of the bills that I know are like a set amount each month, I pay them like in halves bi-weekly, like each check I get in the month. Am I the only person who do that? Because I'm not going broke paying my bills, like, but you still got to be smart about it, like, because if you do your car payment like that, that saves on your interest. Like part of it goes actually towards your principal instead of all the interest. Did y'all know that? Y'all know your girl be doing all type of stuff. But let me know what y'all be doing with y'all bills, because I really learned to be a lot more like conscious about my bills, especially when I decided to do my bankruptcy last year, because I felt like I was drowning so much.
Yeah, I know you had to do a bankruptcy. I know the whole time she's talking about her little budget strategy, I'm like, she really thinks she's cooking right now. Ma'am, that sounds crazy. Be fortunate that your complex or whatever allows you on the first to pay half the rent and then wait till the middle of the month to pay the other half. Because that's not usually what would happen, and you would have got a paper in the mail. Which what you had to file bankruptcy for then, since you pay your stuff half and half. Because she done got late on it, doing it that way. If you actually just allocate it effectively, just go ahead and pay the whole thing. And then you need to live off your next one or whatever. However you have to do it. Lower your expenses, whatever you have to do. But you done filed a bankruptcy. You look young. and you got a bankruptcy, that's even more the reason that you shouldn't be taking this half rent, half approach, because your apartment is your last leg. It's going to be hard to find another one with a bankruptcy on your credit.
So I've learned to budget, and like my money management has gotten so much better within like the last 2 years or so. So like y'all let me know what y'all be doing. What like little tips and tricks do y'all got for y'all to pay y'all bills that help y'all save money or things like that? Drop them comments, boo.
But look, them nails is done professionally though.
Was drowning so
This is what I
much.
mean.
So I've learned to budget. What like little tips and tricks do y'all got for y'all to pay y'all bills that help y'all save money or things like that? Drop them comments, boo.
Look at her nails. She got all the bells and whistles on her nails. And so that's why you had to file bankruptcy. Your priorities was out of order. Your priorities was out of order. It's working right now. Listen, man, if it's working, keep riding it out, I guess. But it doesn't sound like you're financially equipped to be able to handle an emergency. So you're in an emergency. If you're not financially equipped to handle an emergency, you're in an emergency because it's right around the corner. It's coming. Just set your clock. It's coming. And so it sounds like even throughout the bankruptcy, you still didn't fix the root problem, which is you either need to make some cuts, which is a pretty obvious what we need to cut, as well as probably some other things, or you need to earn more, which will mean that you need to leverage more of your time. So, as opposed to you laying down and talking to TikTok, you could be getting you a part-time job or another job so that you can have some extra money. Because if you don't have money set aside for a rainy day, for an emergency, then that requires some urgency. You need to have some urgency about this because you've already filed bankruptcy. That option's off the table. Next time, you're going to have to figure this out. You're going to have to figure this out next time. Which could have the potential for her to end up going into credit card debt again, because I'm guessing that's the debt that she was in, all over again. All right. The caption says losing her apartment over $619. Rent due date approaching fast, and she's facing eviction.
I'm gonna lose my apartment if I don't get $619 by Friday. $119.30. Like, no one should be struggling to live, to eat, to have community. Like, no one should be struggling. I'm gonna lose my apartment if I don't.
Oh, it looks like they're not going to get into the whole thing. But my thing is, okay, if you don't raise this money for this month, you're going to get evicted. Best case scenario, you raise the money. But then what happens next month? And then the month after that? It's just going to be wash, rinse, and repeat. So how are we actually trying to solve the problem? It sounds like you're somewhere that you can't afford. So if we don't solve that dilemma, then we just keep ending up back here over and over. And what it ultimately becomes is just that you're living off donations. And that's not practicable. That's not practical, and that's not feasible.
So I just got out of court like 20 minutes ago, and I'm driving to the library now because I don't have any.
Her caption says, when it's your first time in eviction court and you're coming to realize a lot of people are also behind on their rent. Well, understand, you were in eviction court. So so that doesn't mean that a lot of people are behind their rent. That just means that you were grouped together with the other people who are behind on their rent. This is how people start getting things all misconstrued. And now they are walking in a state of delusion and they ultimately don't understand how the world works and that it is a big world out here. Her description said, I won't lie, I was right there hoping that they would dismiss my case, and they was doing to some others. Oh, this is her grammar. This isn't me. But she was hoping that they would dismiss her case like they were doing to some others. But her landlords hired a lawyer, so it sounds like it didn't go the way that she wanted it to or that she was hoping for. But don't seek comfort and solace in the fact that other people aren't responsible and they're not handling their bills. So now that's giving you comfort. Like, oh, it's not just me. No, ma'am, you're still a minority. Everybody out here ain't not paying their bills, getting evicted. You were grouped together with other people.
So I just got out of court like 20 minutes ago, and I'm driving to the library now because I don't have any ink in my printer, and it costs 15 cents to print a page here, and it costs $26 to buy ink from my printer. So this makes more sense logically and financially because your girl is struggling. But anyways, a lot of people are struggling on their rent. It's not just me. Bitch, I really thought it was just me, and I was all sad, and I'm like, what the fuck? Why don't I?
Is that a car seat in the back? Is that a car seat in the back? You got kids, ma'am? Why do we have kids and we don't even got 15 cents to be able to print a piece of paper? Oh my goodness, man.
Struggling on their rent. It's not just me. Bitch, I really thought it was just me, and I was all sad, and I'm like, what the fuck? Why can't I pay my shit? And I came to this courtroom this morning. It's filled. It's packed. People owe thousands of dollars. The amount I owed, I thought it was a lot. The amount other people owe, I was like, oh shit, I'm so glad I'm not the grass is not greener. Anyways, I am trying to be positive about all this. I'm believing that the universe has a plan for me. I'm working, I'm doing what I need to do, and I'm just being me.
Ma'am, listen. Listen, don't be on that side. Do not be on that side. And what I mean by that is it can literally be inversed, ma'am. The same way of thinking that you're coming at this video with can be flipped the same way on the other side. I want to see you on that side. I don't want to see you, oh, it's not just other people struggling. We're all struggling. We're all owing thousands. Whew, it's not just me. Whew, I can be comfortable now and keep struggling. No, go get around some other people who are actually being responsible, paying their bills. And then say, oh, it's a lot of people over here that's paying their bills and being responsible. Oh, I didn't know. I thought, do it on that side. Don't do it on this side. We can get stuck like that. And sometimes too much perspective can be dangerous, right? You're like, oh, I'm getting evicted and all this, but they got stuff going on in the Ukraine. Listen, that's all good and dandy, but you ain't in the Ukraine. So our thought process and the way that we design our mental world is going to be a direct factor as far as what our outside world could look like. So your internal world, the way that you design that and craft that and what you focus on mentally is ultimately going to be a reflection externally. So, ma'am, reframe your mind. And, it's called your reticular activating system. You you focusing on all the other people who are on the same boat as you. I want you to start focusing on the people who are being responsible and who ain't, and who are your same age and who are making the right decisions in life. And then I want you to start paying attention to them, looking at what they're doing. And as much as you can extract and imitate, I want you to be imitating that.
I recently got a call that a friend of mine was getting evicted, and she had an hour to get her stuff packed up and moved out of this apartment. She doesn't live too far from me, so I put on my shoes, I put the seat down in my car, and I'm like, okay, let me get over there so I can help her. And I'm like, we're just gonna move whatever we can between our vehicles, and we'll figure out the rest later. So I get over there and it's her and one of her children. They're packing everything up. I just pick a room and start throwing.
How's she getting evicted though? How's she getting evicted? Because the reason I'm asking that is I'm wondering if there was anything you could, because it seems like just from looking at this immediately, it seems like she's a responsible person. So what I'm curious is like, because I feel like, man, your proximity is very important. The people that you spend the most time with can start to affect some of your outcomes. So had you advised her, or how did we end up here? That's a weird thing. You got a friend that's struggling to that extent and you not?
I'm like, we just gonna move whatever we can between our vehicles and we'll figure out the rest later. So I get over there and it's her and one of her children. They're packing everything up. I just pick a room and start throwing stuff in bags. And I'm trying not to say too much because I already know it is what it is. And it's just a sensitive situation at this point. So we get all her stuff packed.
See what I tell you? She got a friend she can't even really say too much because it's sensitive. She can't touch it. If you say, I'm trying not to say too much because it's a sensitive subject, what that kind of indicates to me is like you might have been advising and warning them, and they decided they was going to do whatever they had to do, and now this is where they end up. But you holding your tongue.
And try not to say too much because I already know it is what it is, and it's just a sensitive situation at this point. So we get all her stuff packed up, and thanks to two other people, and that was that. Maybe like 3 weeks later, another friend of mine came up to me in passing, and she was like, well, a lot of people, and I'm about to get evicted. I have until next Monday to come.
Another friend of hers is getting evicted. Ma'am, how are these your friends? Guess what, ma'am? It sounds like this is like Final Destination, ma'am. You're about to be next if you don't figure this out. How are y'all even friends? What do y'all do? Is this why they getting evicted? Because they trying to hang. They trying to hang with you. You like y'all. Let's go to brunch this Sunday. They know they don't got it, but they just trying. They don't want to admit that they don't got it, and they still trying to do all the things because y'all don't grew up together or whatever. Sometimes you outgrow your friends, and you keep all right. You about to end up just like them.
Friend of mine came up to me in passing, and she was like, well, a lot of people, and I'm about to get evicted. I have until next Monday to come up with X amount of dollars. Now, I know both of these ladies very well. They hold down a 9 to 5.
Okay.
They're great mothers.
Okay.
They're the sole providers for their households, and circumstances.
They're the sole providers of their household. So basically what we're looking at here is single mothers of a feather flock together. Single mothers of a feather flock together. So is that what's going on? They're the sole providers of their household. Single mothers. They probably got a lot of kids. They're the sole providers of their household. So they got multiple kids, and they the sole providers, i.e., they single moms. Now I need to start paying attention to her finger because I want to see if she's married.
Ask for help earlier, and both of them said. Now, I know both of these ladies very well. They hold down a 9 to 5. They're great mothers. They're the sole providers for their households, and circumstances got them where they are. And both of them said, because I'm like, well, why didn't you?
Circumstances got them where they are. If they were single and childless, I don't think they'd be in this situation. So right there, no, circumstances don't get you. For that woman with the disabled child, I could say that. I could say that's circumstantial. medical diagnoses and all this type of thing. Even though we could say the same logic as far as, well, she didn't have a kid or whatever, but she got one, and sounds like she would have been able to take care of her kid if her kid didn't have this rare medical diagnosis. But this is a completely different situation.
Like, what happened? Why didn't you ask for help earlier? And both of them said they make too much money to get help. And I was floored. I think I was walking around my heart
They make too
broken
much
for
money.
a few weeks. I just could not believe that these women who are doing the best that they can are in these positions. Now, the second girl, I was able to connect her with a counsel person, and they were able to find the funding, and we worked some stuff out, and I was very pleased that they were able to help her. However, I am definitely under the belief, like Bernie Mac said, call me when you miss the first payment. Don't call me when you're already to the end. They about to repossess your car, or they're about to take your house away, or kick you out of your house, basically. And after that, with that mindset, I started researching resources that are available for not just single moms, it's for anybody, but my intent was to help single moms, especially working single moms. So I put together a list of everything that I could find within my ability. Now, my list is for Seminole County, which is the county that I live in, and Orange County, which
Okay, so it looks like she's going to give some advice here now, because this is a long video. We haven't even scratched the surface. So it looks like the rest is just going to be advice. And it's specific to her county, which there'll still probably be some correlations to other counties, but it's too specific. And we're running over a little bit. But ultimately, listen, I agree when she says, because a lot of times when you see people online begging, it's when it's already reached the crux. It's already like, y'all, if I don't get XYZ by tomorrow at 4 a.m., I'm going to get evicted. So we need the money right now. And it's like, well, hold on. How much do you owe? Oh, and I need 10 grand. So how many months did you wait to get to the last day to say that you need some help? Now, in those cases, I feel like those are scams, because one of the bigger indications of a scam is usually urgency. But in these situations, I think that it was pride, because like they said, they make too much money. So again, they could be trying to keep up with the Joneses, maybe compete with her, not necessarily in a conscious way, but subconsciously, as far as not wanting to not be able to do the things that maybe she wants to do or that they are used to doing. But at the end of the day, you all have totally different situations. Y'all might not even have the same number of kids, but also you got totally different situations. This woman could have a trust fund for all you know, like, because I think they're probably all single mothers. But, y'all live in different realities. Don't just, even if you work a job with people and y'all all got the same job, that don't mean y'all all are in the same situation in any way, shape, or form across everything you can think of. That does not mean that y'all are all in the same situation. That does not mean you can just be lazy and measure things right there and leave it right there. So you have to discern, and you have to make the best decision for yourself, which ultimately means you have to say no when you know that you need to say no to certain things, and maybe certain arrangements or events or plans, because you have to make sure that you take care of you. I was going to say you first, but actually you got kids. You got to make sure that you're taking care of your kids first. And it's just that simple. So you got to prioritize what's most important, which is, of course, going to be the needs of those kids, which is going to be shelter, food, stability, clothing. You got to make sure that the needs are met before we start trying to do other things. But you know what they say, and what the statistics show, women are the biggest consumers. So there's a lot of things that y'all do that you think you need. You think you need to go to that Usher concert, don't you? You think you need to travel at least 2 times a year. No. You need to make sure that, especially if you got kids, that you're saving in case of emergencies. That's the priority. Sustainability and stability, which usually become a lot easier when you have the main piece when it comes to stability and sustainability, which is a man, which most men in the US are programmed to provide. So that would already take care of that piece. And then we want to end up here, but we're starting families and we're missing the provider piece. We're missing the man piece. And then we wonder why we're struggling, because ultimately it sounds like you're not willing to do everything that it's going to take. You got a good job. That's cool. It sounds like you need some good jobs. Plural. If you're going to do it by yourself. But we'll leave it there for today. If you could like the video, I greatly appreciate it. Only takes a second, and it actually helps out more than you know. And also, if you can hype the video. Hype is a new feature that YouTube offers where it helps smaller content creators like myself. And basically, when you hype, it actually pushes us to the extent that it pushes the larger content creators. So you just press the hype button and it shows the points. And since I'm a smaller creator, a smaller channel, we actually get more points per hype. And that's because hype was designed for small channels. So that's why. But if you come across a video and you do not see the hype button, then that means it's been probably over 7 days. And hype usually vanishes after 7 days. So it's usually best practice, if you want to hype, to just go ahead and hype while the iron is hot on a newer video. And then also, if you want to become a member of the channel as well, the join button's on the video. And what becoming a member of the DXU family will come with is you would get badges next to your comments, where it will show people that you are a member whenever you leave a comment, as well as you would get early access to content and also exclusive content that's not available for everyone else on YouTube. And again, y'all, I launched the Clips channel, so that will be linked in the pinned comment. And again, if you can go over there and subscribe, the goal is to get it to 4,000 watch hours before February 1st, because that is when the new YouTube rules officially go into effect. But until then, I'll see you in the next video.